Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Guillermo. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or randomness, commentaries, reviews, whatever, reactions, lists, rankings, feel free to send me either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for a film that somehow got a trilogy called The Fear Footage. Now, this came around 2018, very, very low budget. It's another found footage anthology film, like VHS movies, like the dark tapes, like there was one called 3 a.m. And funny enough, the sequels are not anthology, but this one is. All from the same director. Again, these are micro-budget films, and listen, I like a lot of found footage movies. I do. I love the Blair Witch Project from 1999. I love Butterfly Kisses, Savage Land, As Above, So Below, Afflicted, Exists. I like Cloverfield. I've liked quite a few of them. This is not one of them. Sequels are not either. Because you got bad acting, the low budget affect the special effects. Thankfully, they're very short. And it's weird because it gets a low rating on IMDb, rightfully so, but then you go on, like, I find a lot of horror websites, because I was just curious what other people thought, and a lot of them are praising this is the scariest movie of the decade. Oh, it was terrifying, and I'm just like, am I just numb to horror films? Am I just numb to this kind of stuff, or is there something wrong with me? Because I watch this, I go, what's terrifying about this film? Now, I say it's the found footage. The framing device is actually not a bad idea. I wish it was its own film where it's the body cam of a police officer, in this case a deputy, who someone claims this house that was demolished a year or two ago has appeared suddenly. A deputy sent in, and I'm like, okay, a body cam horror film could work with a better actor, with a better voice, with a good ending, not just a typical ending like many of these films have. Not all of them, but many of these films have. But yeah, if you had a body cam, like a horror version of End of Watch or something, that could be pretty neat, pretty cool. Again, if done right. Even if it was, you don't have to call it found footage, but call it POV, like Searching with John Cho, or some of these other movies or Hardcore Henry. Or in this case, it could be the footage, but it could be a horror film. It could be even a guy stuck in a house that keeps changing, kind of like the Silent Hill demo PT, or any other sorts. And when guns don't work, he uses whatever props he can, and then throughout it, he solves this mystery and able to use from the physical to the spiritual in terms of weaponry, and able to make it out. And man, no one's going to believe this. And then maybe he looks down at his footage and then cut to text where you know, he quit the force to raise a family, and he's now, I don't know, he's a novelist of sci-fi, or he writes, he's trying to do a screenplay in Hollywood, or I don't know, just whatever. That could work, but no, we can't have that. We can't have that. And it's funny, like, would a cop even come to a call where the caller said, hey, this house just appeared out of thin air? If anyone out there watches this, if you're a cop, you let me know. If you got a caller that said, hey, man, this house just appeared, then maybe you go to their place because you're wondering how many drugs they took. But I don't know if you go to the place they actually said. I don't know. And so you have a cop who's not the best actor, not the best voice, not the most believable delivery of dialogue. You see the gun, he pretty much points around throughout the house, big house, and he keeps finding these tapes and these TVs, and he just puts the tape in and plays them. Which I thought was weird, because I'm like, wait a minute, you're a cop. You're supposed to, I don't know, secure the fucking perimeter. When you want to secure the perimeter, no. Instead, I'm going to fucking play each of these tapes. Okay, yeah, play the tapes. And he keeps playing these tapes. I'm like, dude, you're in the middle of a house. You don't know what's going on. You can't get dispatch. And you're just playing the tapes. I guess supposedly standing there and watching for the 20 minutes or so that each story, or 15 minutes. I could just imagine the cop roaming around, and then what, he just pauses, watches the tape, while whatever's going on here, he's just watching it? Or is he sitting down on the couch, scratching his balls, or he's just like pointing at the TV, or... I just... That, when you think about it for a few seconds, you go, wait a minute, so again, is this cop just... fuck secure the perimeter. I mean, who knows? For all I know, there's a crazy PCP guy running around. And, you know, I'll go watch some tapes. You may like VHS tapes, but not that much. And there's 3 stories. As well as the wraparound, I guess, is 4. There's one about a birthday party where a kid gets a camera. He films himself skateboarding. On the news, there's clown sightings. Remember that? That was a thing a few years ago where there was these clown sightings throughout the nation. Which was a creepy thing going on. I don't know what the hell that was all about. It was some weird promotion for Stephen King's It. I don't know about that. But granted, they disappeared. After that movie came out, it kind of disappeared now that I think about it. So, who knows? You don't hear that nowadays. And then the kids starts filming stuff. Some of the stuff, it's weird that he's filming. Like, he's filming himself playing video games, but the camera's not at the TV. It's just, literally, he put the camera, so he's like this with the controller. And he's filming this. Why would you film that? Even when you're a little kid. Will you be that dumb to be like, you know what, I'm going to film myself doing this? Why? Why? So it's stuff like that that just go, what? And it makes you wonder and it just takes you out of it of any sort. I did bad acting all around, from the kid, from the mom, to the cop, to everyone was a bad actor. I'm sorry. I understand it's a low budget. But you know what? There's other low-budget films that have worked well. I'll give you an example. There's a film called Resolution from 2012, which the directors of that, which was an interesting film, where a guy is looking for his buddy who's was a drug addict, and then you find out there's something going on around this area where this monster is kind of changing realms because it wants a story to be told. It's a very interesting story, and how it's kind of manipulating things because it wants things to end a certain way. It's an interesting take on storytelling on itself, and that had some good acting. And funny enough, those directors would go on to direct Bone Storm, which was the only thing I liked in VHS Viral, which is the skateboarders beating the shit out of zombies. But that's a low-budget film, and I liked that movie, and I thought that had good acting. There's other low-budget films that have good acting in it, or at least competent acting. This, not really. At least not in my opinion. The kid was irritating when he's yelling for his mom. It was kind of a whiny voice. And then, each of this, I don't know why they did this. There's this weird distortion when the camera... And it has the most annoying sound effect. With, like, it will freeze, it distort. And, okay, I understand if you're doing a video, it accidentally happens. This is doing it on purpose. It's just irritating. It's annoying, and it takes you out of the fucking movie, these distortions. Especially if it's that type of camera, I don't think they don't have that many distortions. Otherwise, you need to get another fucking piece of equipment. I mean, my webcam screws up, but it doesn't screw up as often as it does in these things. And so he sees a clown outside in the storm. You need more of that stupid distortion of the audio and video. The kid keeps telling his mom. The mom's like, no, you dreaming. You better stop or you will not have a birthday party. Like, this is the acting. And then, kid, just show her the fucking tape with the clown on it. You have a camera. Mom, I will show you. Here is the footage. There's the clown. You know I'm filming it. It's right there. Oh my god, yeah, let's call the cop. Let's do this and that. Just show her the fucking tape. I remember way back in the day we had a old school video camera where you could literally prop something, pause, rewind, and show people what you filmed. You could do that. Maybe you can with these cameras. I don't know. The power's on at this point. Show her the fucking footage. But no. So the clown, there's jump scares. And the jump scares here is cheap. What I mean by that? It's this consistent cheap tactic throughout all of these stories where the volume gets low and all of a sudden it's a loud sound. And then just low, then a loud sound. Or a boom. So you go, ooh. Because if I'm lowering my voice and I have these low dulcet tones that nobody in town can hear, dulcet tones. And if I took the microphone and I screamed as loud as I could, you'd be like, especially if you had headphones. But that doesn't mean it's not cheap. And that's the only amount of scares it tries to elicit. And again, I look at these websites going, it's the scariest movie of the decade, and it's so scary. And if people like it, teach their own. If people love it, teach their own. I'll take As Above, So Below. I'll take The Tunnel. I'll take Butterfly Kisses. I'll take The Blair Witch Project from '99. I'll take Exist, Afflicted, and many others. They either told a more interesting story, or had better acting, or tried to develop a bit more suspense, or at least, even for found footage, had a bit more budget behind it. So the power goes off, the kid sees fingers curled around the door, he keeps yelling, Mom, Mom, Mom. There's a point where balloons go up, and he looks down, there's a clown with a loud noise. He finds his mom dead, he runs off, and then he had dropped the camera, then the clown leaves the kid up, leaves, and I guess that's it. Whether it killed the kid, whether it took the kid, I don't know, to Disneyland, I don't fucking know. Hell, the best story wasn't even a story. The best part was probably when the cop found just this letter, didn't read the letter, we had to read it, and just, he's looking at it, and we read it as the story about this girl named Megan who kept hearing these voices, went to a therapist, and ended up, because these voices kept talking to her, killing her family. And it's only told by these letters. And then he reads one, well, again, he doesn't read it, he doesn't say anything, we're just reading it. Which I thought was a weird choice, but kind of an audience participation. And that was more of an interesting thing than anything in the film, sadly. I don't know why, because it's not something I expected. It's not typical that for a film you have a letter, another piece of letter, and it's held there long enough for you to read. Or you can pause and read. I'm like, okay, alright. So the other stories, one is called Storm Stalkers, about these storm chasers being unfunny. I'm about to drop a storm in this bathroom. You want to chase that? No, I don't. So they're driving, they accidentally hit a guy, the guy's dead, and these people in clothes shoots one of them, two others run into the woods. You get more of that annoying distortion and freezing, which seemed like he eased up a little bit on that with the sequels. The two guys get into these tunnels with a ton of graffiti in it, which has potential for a claustrophobic setting. But then one of them gets grabbed, and you get one of those distortion freezing moments that hurts it. Because it's just annoying, just irritating. As soon as the creature's ready to grab someone, and the guy's filming it, and then the guy just pulls away, it like freezes and distorts. And it's like, it takes you out of the movie. Then something big chases the guy gets to a car, gets shot, killed, dragged away to the ceremony with these black hooded figures look like monks. That's the other one story. And then we're back to the worst cop ever, the worst police officer, worst deputy ever. Barney Fife had more competence than this. He keeps stopping and watching the tapes where he should be secure in the fucking perimeter. God damn, where did you go to? The police academy? But even they would have more merit. Hightower and fucking Mahoney. Hello. I'm a Kung Fu master. I basically want to rewatch the police academies, even the bad ones. I would rather watch than this stuff. Even 5 and 6 and 7 I would rather rewatch than this. Or its sequels. Or some of the more worst found footage films. Because there's some I like, and then there's some that's just absolute fucking dog shit. And again, 4.7, I think that's too high on IMDb. So the last story is this guy named Daniel, who might be the director, I don't remember. He moved in to this place. There's strange sounds coming through the woods. His girlfriend thinks he's back on drugs. He's like, no, I'm not. But the girlfriend thinks he is, so took her and her baby to live somewhere. So then Daniel calls this guy who tells him a story about that area you moved into. There's a pastor who murdered some children. And again, it's that cheap tactic of you trying to hear, then boom. So he's filming out the window at nighttime. Then he starts hearing his family. I'm like, dude, you just had a phone call with them. Why would your daughter be out there at night in the dark? Or why don't you call, hey, let me call your mom. I mean, this is like 2018. There are things called cell phones that you can fucking check and call. Let me call the mom. Yeah, are you here? What's going on? I'm like, no, there's obviously something going on, dude. Why would your daughter, who was just with your lady, who you just got off the phone not too long ago, be out there late at the dark? So he wanders around, into a building. There's this preacher, attacks him, kills him. Then back to the body cam, where the cop's going through, and kind of like the Silent Hill demo PT, kind of he can't get out of the house, and kind of teleports him. The rooms repeat, which is, a nice motif for a low budget. So that part's not badly edited. I'll give the movie that enough credit. That's what I mean. If you took just the body cam deputy and you want to have this haunted house quality pop, you want to have that, okay. But like the other stories, like the clown and the cult, didn't do much for me. Again, the low budget screams it. The acting takes you out of the movie to make you think it's believable. I'm sorry. I know they try their hard to make people think it's believable because there's no credits. I guess if you buy the disc, there's no menu. Okay, by the end, the acting will tell you anything. And it ends with the cop getting killed. Text where the deputy went missing. And it's over. So it just... I guess if you love found footage films... And I liked some. I did. I do like some. So you need to watch every single one of them. And you need to watch every single anthology film. Other than that, I don't really see the appeal in this. I really don't see what's scary about this. Again, kids who can't act, adults who can't act, a cop who's the worst cop ever. Let me go watch a tape and stand here for 20 minutes, watch it when I'm trapped in this fucking house. Dialogue, I'm about to drop a storm in this toilet. You want to chase that? Annoying distortion on the camera that just, again, is irritating. Effects that are not that great on the creatures. I mean, maybe I'll give maybe a little bit of leniency. It is fairly low budget. I thought at one point I saw that the budget was like $900. If that's the case, hey, I mean, there's much worse films if that's the case. Yeah, if that's the case. But this seems like something that would be on YouTube for free, not to rent for $5 on Amazon. In fact, I saw a better one on YouTube that was shorter. Again, it wasn't the best acting, but it was at least the characters were a little bit more interesting, and the story was more interesting. It was, damn it, I forgot what the hell it was called now. Damn it. I forgot what it was called. It was... Sorry, I gotta check this real quick. I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but... So again, it's not the worst movie ever that I've seen. It's not the worst found footage movie ever. I mean, it's not Hip Hop Locals. Spiral Drive. Spiral Drive. That was a decent one. Again, the acting from the two leads are not the best, but they are trying, and you tell they're trying to form a bond with each other, and it's trying to tell a story about, and you try and get to know little characters. And again, the story was interesting. It doesn't have a typical found footage ending. Again, Spiral Drive, I didn't mind. That was a couple of guys made it for free on YouTube, and it was interesting ideas, and there's a little bit of a sense of humor. And so when I see that was like an hour and 2 minutes. This is almost what, an hour and maybe 10 minutes, give or take. Again, that's for free on YouTube. This, on the other hand, you're renting for $5. So I'll take Spiral Drive over this. At least that story was more. That's another thing. We have such a short film, and so now you have these stories that are going to be even shorter. So there's like no room to breathe. There's not much of a story to tell. And even then, the endings is going to be typical. There's not going to be any surprises. You know where it's going. Again, that was one of the surprising things about Spiral Drive. Again, Spiral Drive is like a 5 out of 5 star movie, but again, for a movie for free on YouTube, not too bad. This, on the other hand, I don't see the scariest movie that these horror movie websites said it was, and I don't see how it's a film that needed 2 sequels and a mythology built on it. But that's just me. If you like it, teach their own. So with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.